I wish it was Christmas today. I wish it was Christmas today. Every day's a Christmas day. Top 5 things, come what may. Reviews, movies, and festive cheer. Join the fun, Christmas is here. It's Christmas every day.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Christmas Every Day. Now, this is the podcast that keeps the spirit of Christmas going all year long. My name is Troy, and I am your host. Thank you for checking in, taking a few minutes today to check out our show. We really appreciate it. Now, if this is your first time listening, thank you. Really appreciate it. We're going to have some cool stuff coming up over the holiday season. So please keep coming back and checking out that stuff. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. I just can't thank you enough. I really appreciate all the love that we've gotten, and I want to talk about that a little bit. But first, this is a family-friendly show. So that means that there's not going to be any cursing. But since it's not also specifically aimed at children, there's going to be an adult beverage from time to time. And this is one of those times. I'm having a beer. That's right. Having a beer. Now, I've been wanting to try Old Fezziwig from Samuel Adams for 2 years now. So 2 years ago, I found out that it exists. I'd never heard of it before then, but I didn't find out until it was too late to get any. Now, they apparently stopped selling it after the first of the year. And so last year, I had obviously forgotten about it again because I do that. And of course, I didn't get any before it was too late last year also. So I've been waiting for it all year this year. I was hard on the lookout for it. And lo and behold, Samuel Adams put out the winter sampler because they don't just sell the Old Fezziwig by itself. That would just, benefit me too much. So they put out a sampler where it's Old Fezziwig and it's the winter lager and then it's the white winter lager and then it's some kind of other coffee something or other that I'm going to try, but I'm not really excited about. Anyway, they put out the winter sampler on November 1st, and Old Fezziwig was in it. Well, I had to buy it, and I tried it, and I am not disappointed in that beverage at all, to say the least. You know how you sometimes get expectations about things, and the reality is never lives up to what your expectations are. That is not the case with Old Fezziwig. I'm not drinking it tonight. I'm very pleasantly surprised. It's a huge win for me. Tonight's beverage is the winter lager, and it is mighty, mighty tasty as well. So, yeah, you know what? I'm enjoying a beverage tonight, and you know what? I should. Anyway, back to Christmas. I want to start off this week with a listener email from Rusty in Mississippi. Now, Rusty writes, quote, "Brother, I just want to say thank you for the amazing show. I have been with you since the first show, and I love what you're doing. Merry Christmas, and keep up the good work." End quote. Rusty, dude, you know how cool that is? Thank you so much. I didn't think anybody had been listening from the beginning, and it just means a lot to hear from you, man. It really does. Now, Rusty and I, after the initial email that he sent, we emailed back and forth a little bit and exchanged the niceties and whatnot. And you can just tell that Rusty is, he's good people. Rusty is good people. That's what we say in the South. Now, I'm going to put Rusty on my Christmas card list for sure. And listen, if you want a Christmas card, I'm going to be sending them out, probably over the next couple of weeks. If you want a Christmas card from the Christmas Everyday podcast, send me an address. It doesn't have to be your home address. I know a lot of people would be leery about sending that out. Send me an address where I can get it to you. Send me your name to christmaseverydayshow@gmail.com, and I will be glad to send you a Christmas card. I would be more than happy to send you a Christmas card because that's what I'm doing this year. I've been really bad about the Christmas cards over the last couple of years. My wife is always very good about them. I am not so much, and I want to make a concerted effort this year. So if you want a Christmas card, christmaseverydayshow@gmail.com. And on top of getting that awesome email from Rusty, we actually have a review on Apple Podcasts. So I guess that that has blown my mind more than anything over the last, several months. Because in all honesty, I never looked to see if there are any reviews, like anywhere. My show's only been going weekly since about June. And, there's not a ton of people looking for Christmas podcasts in the middle of summer. Like, it just doesn't happen. So, my show doesn't really have the traction that a lot of the other shows have that, have been around for a couple of years. But we have a review from Dave for Pepsi. So it's the name Dave, the number 4, and then Pepsi. I hope I can someday figure out what this guy likes to drink. But he writes, quote, "Really enjoying this new Christmas podcast so far. I look forward to new episodes every week. Keep up the good work," end quote. Dave left that review between 2 and 3 months ago. I mean, I never get in and look at it. So Dave, I'm sorry that I missed it. I just don't, like I said, I don't expect to ever have any reviews. And he left us a 5-star review. How awesome is that? So Dave, listen, thank you so much. It means the world to hear those kind words. It really does. I do this for fun. I don't do it for listeners. I don't do it. I'm sure not ever going to make any money off of it. But it's good to know that a few people out there appreciate what I'm doing. And, this isn't the best Christmas podcast in the world, but I love Christmas. And I know a lot of you guys out there do too. And so thank you for listening and thanks for the kind words. It means the world to me. So we're going to get on with some radio news. Sirius XM. They have brought out all of their holiday channels and they did it on November 4th. So 3 days ago, they brought out all the Christmas channels. So holiday traditions had been on all year long, thankfully. But now the regular other favorites like the Holly channel and Hallmark Radio and Country Christmas, those are back. And the Jimmy Fallon Holiday Seasoning Radio channel is back again this year. And that channel has really grown on me. They play some really cool stuff on that channel. I don't much care for Jimmy Fallon all the time, but when he's doing Christmas stuff, he does it very well. I suggest checking out the Jimmy Fallon channel on Sirius XM if you've got it. And speaking of Sirius XM, they put out, I need another drink of this white winter lager. Oh man, that's good. So speaking of Sirius XM, they put out a list of their top 12 Christmas podcasts and shows, and a few of my favorites made the list. The Totally Rad Christmas Podcast, the Cozy Christmas Podcast, Tis the Podcast, and Christmas 365 all made the list. Now, I've had the honor of being a guest on the Totally Rad Christmas Podcast and also on the Cozy Christmas Podcast. Jerry D does Totally Rad. Art does Cozy Christmas. And so those two guys are just absolutely phenomenal, super podcast hosts. And I just had the best time talking with them. And so for them making this list, it just couldn't happen to two better guys. Also, congratulations to everybody, though. Tis the Podcast and Christmas 365. I love both of those shows, and I'm very proud of you guys. That's just like super cool. Great news for everybody. Okay, now, is it time for the countdown? I think it might be time for the countdown.
Santa's coming to town! Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him! I know him!
So it is 48 days until Christmas. This is so great. Just under 7 weeks. And, I haven't started doing my Christmas shopping yet. This is, it's just, I really need to get on that. We've been having some issues with several of our dogs over the last few weeks, and it's got us kind of down around the house. It's put a damper on our Christmas spirit. We had to put one of our dogs down to sleep a few weeks ago, and we've got another one that's just right behind, and her time on Earth is limited too. So we've let the time get away from us as far as Christmas stuff goes. It just feels like it's coming up on us very quickly, and we're behind on a couple of things around the house, and definitely with our shopping, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done, and we're just gonna love on these pups, while we've got them. That's the name of the game. You take care of them, and you love on them, and that's what you do. But in other fall holiday news, well, it's only 20 days until Christmas. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving. Now, Thanksgiving is that one day we kind of interrupt the Christmas season for it in November. You sit around and you eat all the turkey and the dressing and all the casseroles and the mac and cheese and the mashed potatoes. And, you have that one day where you just blow it all out with your diet. But then the next day you're just right back onto Christmas. So yes, that little hiccup, that little interruption in the Christmas season that I call Thanksgiving, we're only 20 days from that right now. So that's always a good time to get together with your family. But once Thanksgiving is over, it is 4-alarm, full-blown Christmas. And I love that. Anyway, I think it might be time for us to spotlight a Christmas character of the week. Now that it's getting to be much closer to Christmas, it's just, barely less than 7 weeks away. I guess we need to start doing a few more recognizable characters of the week. So we started doing the Christmas character of the week in either June or July of this year. So you don't want to start off with Clark Griswold or, Rudolph. You don't want to start off with Frosty. You don't want to start off with something big. You want to sort of save those for, getting closer to Christmas. And so we did start off with the big one. We did start off with Jack Skellington, but then have made our way up through lesser known characters and a little bit more obscure characters. But hey, now that we're getting into it, we're just gonna keep going. So we've already done a few Christmas characters of the week already from this particular storyline. So we're just gonna keep going in sequence. So the Ghost of Christmas Present is the second of 3 spirits to visit Ebenezer Scrooge, not counting Jacob Marley, of course, on Christmas Eve, 7 years after Jacob Marley's death. So, Scrooge is just fresh off of his visit from the Ghost of Christmas Past, who showed Scrooge the folly of his past that turned him into the miser that he's become. Now, the Ghost of Christmas Present, much like Christmas Past, he's got one job, and his job is to show Scrooge people in the present day who could benefit from some level of benevolence from Ebenezer Scrooge. Now, Scrooge is shown a number of different scenarios, but 2 of them are the most prominent. And the first one is Scrooge is shown his nephew Fred and his wife, and they're hosting a dinner party at their house. They sort of make light of Ebenezer Scrooge and sort of make a joke about him. And, Scrooge was invited to the party, but he had declined earlier in the day. And he is also shown the home of Bob Cratchit, who is Ebenezer Scrooge's clerk. I love the British people. They say Clark. They always say the Clark, and that was Bob Cratchit. Anyway, so he's shown, the home of Bob Cratchit, and they're celebrating Christmas. And to my knowledge, Scrooge is shown for the first time that Bob Cratchit has a sick little boy by the name of Tiny Tim, who, later on in the scene, the Ghost of Christmas Present claims that, Tiny Tim's not going to be occupying the chair that he seems to be sitting in during their initial visit, and not much longer into the future will he be sitting in that chair if things progress in the way that they're progressing with his health. So Scrooge has shown a couple of other things, but those are the big ones. And the spirit ages very rapidly during his time with Scrooge, and he exclaims that his life on Earth is very brief, and in fact it only lasts that one night. And at the end of their encounter, the spirit makes one more revelation to Scrooge, and that revelation is 2 very hideously emaciated children. It's a boy and a girl, and their names are Ignorance and Want. And Scrooge is told to beware of both of them, but most of all, beware the boy, Ignorance, meaning that the most dangerous thing that Scrooge can do in his quest for redemption is to ignore and be ignorant of the plight that of the plight of those that are around him, and to not remain as solitary as an oyster. So the ghost of Christmas past leaves Scrooge by throwing his own words kind of right back in his face, letting him know, when Scrooge asks if anything can be done for ignorance and want. Well, are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses where they could be sent? And Scrooge, it kind of shakes him to his core, and, for very good reason. Now, Scrooge's ultimate redemption could not have been made possible without this visit from this spirit, because it kind of plants the seed that it's not too late to begin to change his behavior for the better. Now, these are all people who are in his life in one respect or another in the present time, and he can still make a difference in their lives, as we find out later in the story with regard to Tiny Tim. The ghost of Christmas past only showed him things that he couldn't, as the spirit says, these memories are what they are. Do not blame me for what they are, whatever. Scrooge couldn't change those things, but he's being shown for the first time things that he could potentially change, and he's shown the path to his redemption during this visit from the ghost of Christmas present. Now, I would almost say that this was one of the most influential. No, I would almost say that this was the most influential of the three spirits to visit Scrooge that evening, if it were not for the graphic, revelations that were shown to him by the third spirit. So that's our Christmas character for the week, the ghost of Christmas present. So from A Christmas Carol, we've done Jacob Marley and the ghost of Christmas past. So now we've gotten the ghost of Christmas present. So A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite short stories of all time. And I just love all of these characters. So, I think it's safe to say we're probably going to hear some more ghosts from that story. Okay, so let's do the week in Christmas history. This is where we spotlight different happenings that happened over this past week in history with Christmas characters. So, Doris Roberts played Ellen Griswold's mom in Christmas Vacation. Ellen, are you smoking again? That's the one. She was born November 4th, 1925. Guy Lombardo was an orchestra leader or a band leader. He had many, many Christmas releases. Very underrated, very, very underrated Christmas music maker. He passed away November 5th of 1977. I've got two more. Ray Conniff, one of the most underrated Christmas band leaders at all, of all the Christmas music makers, maybe the most underrated of all. The leader of the Ray Conniff Singers. And he was born November 6th of 1916. Oh, this winter lager. Oh, it's calling me. Hold on. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's good. Okay. And finally, this is the most recent. We're very sad to say that Diane Ladd passed away on November 3rd of this year, so just a few days ago. Now, she played Clark Griswold's mother in Christmas Vacation. She was the last surviving grandparent from the movie. So, rest in peace, Diane Ladd. Hate to hear that one. She was great in that movie. She was just absolutely great in Christmas Vacation. All right, so I think we have a Carol of the Week for you this week. Now, you can click the link in the show notes, and it'll take you to the Christmas Everyday Christmas Carol of the Week Spotify playlist, and you can check out all the songs that we've spotlighted on our weekly episodes. Now, this week's Carol of the Week is one of my favorites. I can't remember if it made my top 10 list or not, though. I don't believe that it did. And I've heard about, performed by a bunch of different people, but of course nobody did it better than Frank Sinatra. And look, there's a ton of songs that you could say about that. You could say that about nobody did it better than Frank Sinatra. But this song was written for him actually in 1954. It's the Christmas Waltz. And let's take a listen to that for just a few moments.
Merry Christmas, may your every New Year dream come true. Frost
candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on the tree. Santa's on his way, he's filled his sleigh with things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year dreams come true. And this song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours the same thing too.
Isn't that great? Like, really, isn't that great? Doesn't that just embody the whole spirit of Christmas? It's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous song. I still contend that he's best known for his holiday songs. And several of the other ones, like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. There was another one. I can't remember. Those sort of Rat Pack guys, or those guys from that era. It's my contention their holiday. Oh, Bing Crosby. It's my contention that their holiday stuff is their best known stuff. You could make the case for Sinatra with, saying, well, maybe, he did My Way and he did New York, New York, and a couple of other ones. I don't really care. I think that their best known stuff is their Christmas stuff. We can fight about it. Christmas Every Day show at Christmas. Oh, gosh. Christmas Every Day show at gmail.com. Okay. Look, this song is just one of the examples of why I'm totally right about that. Anyway, that is it for this week. And please remember, send me your new, ish Christmas music recommendations at christmaseverydayshow@gmail.com. I'll be doing reaction videos to those recommendations in an effort to familiarize myself with newer Christmas music or older Christmas songs, but that might be done by newer artists because my Christmas music knowledge abruptly ends right around 1994. So I'd love to do some Christmas music reaction videos. So anyway, don't forget to check out the Naughty List this Monday. And until then, Merry Christmas, everybody.